Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here, on the Handycam instead of the webcam for once, because I've got a fair bit of stuff to get through that's a bit larger than normal. Now this is not an eBay pickup, this is sort of a trade video. So what you're looking at now is my original Atari ST 1040 STE and hard drive expansion. That I traded something to a friend a little while ago, well probably a reasonable while ago, and it actually had a monochrome monitor, not the colour one you see there. I've since, after I traded it with him, I actually had second thoughts and picked up another system, but that one's mouse didn't work, so I hadn't really played around with it very much, and it didn't have a hard drive, so there we go, a 1040 STE. So I've basically traded some wood out of my shed of doom for what you're about to see. So it's great having my own Atari 1040 STE, and I do have another one as a spare. Now the joystick didn't, the mouse didn't work on that, but so that's either the mouse itself or a solder joint on the mouse point, so we'll have to see. Now when I gave it to him, did have the high resolution monochrome monitor, which is actually quite small. I'll show you that in a second. That no longer works and looks like it's been rat nibbled. So, but maybe if I replace the plug on the power cord, we might get a bit more successful there. So at the moment I've got it hooked up to the colour monitor. So this isn't a too bad colour monitor. It does the low and medium resolutions. The Atari's, the one annoying thing about them was you can't display all three resolutions on the one monitor. You sort of had to have two. There are some people who made some nice dual cables with a switch on them, which you could plug them into a monitor that can actually handle all the resolutions and then switch between them. But maybe we'll deal with that later. So obviously the first thing is getting my Atari ST back. So it works. So we'll just we'll power up the hard drive. Now the hard drive is a cartridge-based hard drive. It uses 44 meg cartridges, no gigs here. There we go, we're all green. Monitor's already switched on. So fire him up. Bit of an urgent pause. Now the Atari STs don't come with a built-in clock battery, so that was always an add-on for them. The hard drive interface actually has a inbuilt clock battery, but it's got no batteries in it, which I'll fix later. So there we go, we've loaded our drivers and booted up, and the partitions weren't able to be very big either, so we've got four partitions. There's really not much on this hard drive. I've got a lot of floppy software that we can probably try it later. Sorry if I swapped switching hands. We've got a floppy in there. We'll see if we can launch a bit of a demo. I'll probably need a mouse mat as well. What I might do to make this a little bit easier, we'll switch off again, because I haven't really played with this since I set it up. Just going to make sure it was working. We'll turn the hard drive off and we'll just boot with the floppy, and hopefully we'll get some auto start. And that's a no. Alright, we'll try. I'll actually do a demo of the system at a later time, when I've sorted it out, because I've quite literally just got it out of the car and set it up and just made sure it was working, and then went and got this monitor out of the shed of doom when the other one didn't work. Alright, so moving right along, that's the book collection. So here's a bit of camera skirting there to have the bit of suspense added. So there's the monochrome monitor. It's actually quite a lot smaller than the colour monitor, but you get double vertical resolution, so it's good for using the Atari as like a word processor or for desktop publishing. Then you have all my original discs, which would be good, and quite a few software titles. Now the thing that I wasn't expecting him to give me back in this part of this trade is something that he's had for a while and he said he's just not using, and it is an Atari 400 original computer in box. It also has the original versions of the game, so it was in the large format. So there's the Star Raiders book. So this is, they're actually quite good, the manuals in this format. So this is a dog assisted video. And the other game was Missile Command. Once again, quite a big manual, a little bit of water damage there. And then we have the owner's guide. Oh good, that's all in good nick. And then we have the Atari 400 itself. Now it's an American one, so, and this is actually mine that I lent him a while back, that I got to run my Japanese MSX. But when I had an accident with my Japanese MSX, I didn't need it anymore. So there's 2 Atari joysticks in there looking pretty good. 2 cartridges, Star Raiders and Missile Command, matching those manuals up there. So there's the original power supply, and this should probably, oh there we go, there's another game, Pac-Man. Original Pac-Man. Now the Atari 400 has the 1 cartridge slot there. I love how solid these things are. And the membrane keyboard. Now obviously I'll need a bit of time to set this up and make sure it works. There's a little bit of moisture damage in the box, so hopefully we'll be alright. It also came with this original box of Atari joystick controllers. So 1 pair, and there's a couple of older joysticks in there needing a bit of love. They probably won't be in use. They're missing yes, they all are, but at least there's 2 good ones there. So I'm very, very excited about having an Atari 400. And I used to have one of these back in the day. So pretty much all I'd need to do was pick up a hard disk unit, and I'd pretty much have what I had back in the day. Now there's some software titles that go with the Atari ST. So some of them are mouse nibbled. So this is the Microprose Golf, which is the Atari ST version of the Amiga one that I unwrapped the other day. We have some software manuals for Leisure Suit Larry. Bit of box damage. This is the rat nibbling he was talking about. We have Microsoft Write, which is actually pretty similar to the Microsoft Write that came out for both the Macintosh and the original version of Windows. So the rat really must have loved this one. The interior of the book's okay, and all of our original discs are in there though, so not a complete write-off. Then we have Cyber Studio CAD 3D 2.0. A little bit of rat nibbling. So the original discs. And then Cyber Paint by the same guys. No damage to this one. So there's the container for the cartridge. I'm not sure whether there's a spare one or not. We've got the ST Basic Quick Reference Guide, the manual for the removable hard drive, another word processor called WordFlair. Seem to remember this one wasn't too bad. You see, I used to write my magazines for the MSX machines using the word processor and publishing components on the Atari. Now there's a boxed game here, Ringside. I can't remember owning that, so maybe he's picked it up at a garage sale. Once again, the rat's had a good go there. So there we go, there's a receipt, a brochure, a manual, a sticker, and the disc. And there's a fair bit of software there. So, a stored overview. So that's actually quite an impressive haul, considering it cost me nothing but a bit of wood out of my shed of doom, which will then allow me a bit more space to tidy it up. I'll maybe do some Atari SD demos once I've sorted out the software and things like that. Might be able to dig out the set of graphics that was being made for Pixadisc 2 and get them up on screen, so I can show you all you know, where the next stage of development was when I left it last. Alright, thank you very much for watching.